My name is Jessica Abbott, and I'm representing a group of RIT Internet Marketing students that includes Andy Klingenberger, Linda Cunningham, Terry Partham, Brandy Madera, and myself. Today I'd like to present you with a brief Twitter workshop that could help improve your or your company's online presence. This workshop is designed to teach you the basics of using Twitter through the website on your computer. If you're using the Twitter application through your smartphone, some of these same things apply, but all of the application's functionality won't be covered here. Topics covered will include what is Twitter, what is a tweet, components of a tweet, which includes replies, hashtags, links, photographs, and direct messages. Then we'll move on to the topics retweets, favorites, Twitter feed, trends, Twitter for business, and promoted tweets. So let's start. What is Twitter? At its core, Twitter is an information platform designed by each user. Individuals using the service can choose which accounts they want to follow, whether that be friends, family, comedians, news outlets, companies, anything like that. And they can decide how they want to engage with each. This engagement is accomplished through what Twitter terms as small bursts of information. Those are called tweets. There are more than 5 million registered users on Twitter, and there are an average of 1 billion new tweets sent every 5 days. This is an opportunity for any business to connect directly with a vast number of potential customers. What then is a tweet exactly? We touched on it briefly. A tweet is a message that can be a maximum of 140 characters. While that might seem like a small amount, a great deal of information can be packed into each one. Outside of the message itself, there are 4 components of a tweet you should know about: replies, hashtags, links, and photographs. Replies. If you're speaking directly to another person on Twitter, you could speak to them using the @ symbol and their Twitter handle. For example, if you want to speak directly to Twitter, you could start the tweet with @Twitter. The other users will receive a notification that you've mentioned them in a tweet. This tweet will only be visible to @Twitter, as well as all of their followers who also follow @Twitter. This is not a private communication. Anyone who follows both of you and the user will be able to see the tweet. Conversely, a tweet like this, "I really love using Twitter," will be visible to all of your followers, regardless of whether you also follow @Twitter. It's important to remember that if you want the mention to be available to all of your followers, the @Twitter should not be the first part of the tweet. Put it later on in the sentence and all of your followers will be able to see it. Hashtags. Hashtags are what Twitter is best known for. They start with a # symbol. Using a hashtag in a tweet enables anyone who clicks the hashtag to see all the tweets that contain the same hashtag. This can be especially useful for businesses who want to see how their brand is being mentioned by Twitter users, if at all. For example, if you want to talk about Twitter itself, your tweet could be something like, "I really love using @Twitter, #Twitter." The Twitter after the hashtag could be clicked on or followed to see all the users who are using Twitter as their hashtag in their tweets. Links. A tweet can also contain links to websites. Twitter automatically shortens links, which can become rather lengthy, to 20 characters. So the number of characters available for commentary about the link is reduced to 120 rather than 140. There are external shortening services available as well, which offer more insight into how often your link is clicked and viewed on than Twitter's internal link shortening features. Photographs. Another feature of Twitter is the ability to upload photographs from your computer. Simply click on the photo button while composing a tweet and choose the photograph you'd like to share with your followers. Direct messages. For times you want to speak privately with another Twitter user, make use of direct messages or DMs. This is useful for giving out information you might not want to make public, like email addresses, phone numbers, or customer service-related issues. Now that we've talked about original tweets, let's talk about retweets. If you or your followers like a particular tweet, you have the ability to share it through retweeting it. This can be done automatically through Twitter by using the retweet button, or you can simply copy and paste the tweet. When retweeting, it's important to include the original tweeter's name as well as RT, short for retweet, in front of it. For example, RT @RIT News, meet Holly Matiotti, the Wu-Tang Clan sign language interpreter, and @RIT NTID, grad, #RIT, #RIT News. This method allows you to add your own commentary to the tweet. That is, if space allows it. This is generally done before the RT as to differentiate what your idea is and what the other user's is. If you use Twitter's retweet function without copying and pasting the original tweet, you won't be able to add commentary to what's being retweeted. A tweet that is retweeted automatically using this button will appear like this to your timeline. The number of retweets that any particular tweet receives is a good indication of how far your message is reaching beyond just the people that follow you. Another indication of how well your tweets are being received is our next short topic, favorites. Other users, instead of retweeting, can basically like a tweet by clicking on the favorites button. Many users use favorites as a method for remembering an interesting link that they may not be able to view at the moment, but want to look at later. To refresh, so far we've talked about Twitter, tweets, the components of tweets, retweets, and favorites. Let's move on to our next topic, Twitter feed. When you first log into Twitter, you'll see what's called your feed. This is the activity of all the users that you're following, what they're discussing and what they're retweeting. Depending on the number of accounts you follow, this can be very quickly moving. However, in order to reduce the amount of clutter, Twitter doesn't update the feed automatically. Instead, Twitter will tell you at the top of your feed the number of new tweets that have been sent since you last looked at it. This feature is only available when you leave the website open, though. If you close the page and come back to it, you won't be able to see the number of new tweets since you last viewed your feed. On the left side of your Twitter feed, you'll be able to see our next topic, trends. This area allows you to see what's trending based on popular hashtags in your location, although not all locations are supported. This can be a useful tool for engaging with your customers. You can talk about what they're talking about in real time, as long as the topic is relevant to your business. That brings us to the topic, Twitter for businesses. Beyond the basics of tweeting, Twitter is an essential tool for promoting and marketing your brand, engaging with followers, and gaining new ones as well. In order to have the best business presence possible on Twitter, it's important to extend your current branding onto your page. Twitter profiles have a number of customizable parts. In the settings when you're logged into your Twitter account, you can upload a profile picture, which all users will be able to see when they follow you. You can also add a background image for your header, and an image for your profile background, which can be seen when your profile page is viewed. All of these things should be able to promote your business. In addition, it's important to update the information on your profile page with your business name, your location, your website, as well as a short statement in the bio section. Businesses on Twitter can also opt to pay for advertising, which we will cover under the topic Promoted Tweets. Twitter offers businesses the opportunity to advertise directly into their followers or potential followers' feeds through promoted tweets, promoted accounts, and promoted trends. Each type of advertising puts your information directly in front of the individuals you choose to target, whether that be by interest, geography, or gender. Through Twitter, you have the ability to choose the amount you're willing to spend on advertising and only pay when people follow your account, click on your links, or retweet you. This ensures that you're reaching a targeted, engaged audience who are interested in your business. When advertising through Twitter, there's also an analytics page available to track where your money is being spent, as well as how many users have followed your page organically or because of your advertising. Let's wrap up. We've covered what is Twitter, what is a tweet, components of a tweet, retweets, favorites, Twitter feed, trends, Twitter for business, and promoted tweets. So now you know the basics of Twitter and how to use it in a business context. So remember, a healthy internet presence can really aid your brand, but it can also aid your customers. So good luck with your future ventures, and keep what we talked about today in mind. Thank you for listening.